Morning everyone! So Everyday May has come to an end, and I feel like throughout the month, because I was so busy doing daily videos, I wasn't as responsive on my social media channels like Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. I can't always reply to everyone. I really do read every comment and every tweet and every Snapchat, but I think if I replied to every single one, I would never get anything done. So I thought it would be a nice way to kind of round up Everyday May by doing a Q&A video, and I asked you guys, I think I asked on all the different platforms actually, to send me some questions, and I said it could be about anything, beauty, lifestyle, whatever you wanted to ask, and loads of good questions came in. It's so funny how things have changed, because I used to just get questions like, what's your favorite lipstick? Or if you could only use one brand for the rest of your life, what would it be? And now all the questions are about weddings and babies. So clearly I have aged on YouTube. But there were so many good questions that I couldn't just pick like 10. It didn't feel like enough. So I've got loads of questions here. I'll probably end up editing the video down, but it's gonna be a long one. I like watching long videos, so I feel like you guys will too. And I'm just gonna get straight into it. Otherwise we're gonna be here forever. Damn it, I forgot a pen. I found a pen. Let's start with an easy one. What's first on your scone? Cream or jam? Also, I think I say scone instead of scone. I don't know what the correct way is. So apparently it's Cornish or Devon, depending on whether you put your cream first. I put cream first and then jam. I think it looks prettier, so much like neater and less messy, and now I really want a scone. Will you be doing updates on your wedding planning and possibly sharing your wedding day with us? I know most YouTubers say they wish to keep it private, but after following you for so long, it would mean so much to be involved. That kind of hit the nail on the head. It is a very private day getting married, but I've been sharing my life now for like 6 years. So I think it would feel weird to not share anything. I'm sure you guys can tell by now that I'm sharing bits and bobs when I feel comfortable with it. I'm not gonna be telling people the date of my wedding. I think that's just will add to the nerves if people are like wishing me luck or tweeting me like the day before. But it's a huge part of my life and I love sharing my life. That's why I do this. So I will definitely be sharing some stuff. I just feel like I'll probably be sharing it after the wedding. I feel like once we're married and it's done, I'll probably want to tell everyone everything and show you guys photos and videos and like scream about it. But now I don't feel that comfortable telling too much, just because I feel like there's so many opinions, and if people were to say they didn't like something, you know, it gets a bit confusing in your head. It's a big thing to plan anyway, so too many opinions can get a little bit messy. So I'm more likely to share after the wedding than lead up to it. What is the one thing you can do today that you couldn't do this time last year? Workout. I started getting a personal trainer, nothing drastic, I only do it once a week, but I'm getting quite into boxing, and I can do squats and push-ups and sit-ups, and I definitely couldn't do that this time last year. So I'm very impressed with myself and I feel much better for it. Hi Lily, just a question for your Q&A. What's your favorite song on Beyonce's new album? Oh my God, that is so hard to pick. I think I like Hold Up. I love Daddy Lessons. That's like really bluesy. Have you chosen your wedding dress? If so, was it a lengthy process or did you find it easy? So the wedding dress thing was strange. I always said growing up that I don't want a white wedding dress. I just want to go to Selfridges and buy a nice dress, but that's actually harder than it sounds. I was really shocked at how expensive wedding dresses are. I thought, let's just go to wedding dress shops and try some stuff on and see how I feel. And everything I looked at was £2,000 and up. And that to me is crazy. I know weddings are expensive, but personally I like to spend the wedding budget on things that are gonna benefit everyone, and there's no way I would feel comfortable spending anything like that on a wedding dress. So I was already a bit confused by that. I've had friends that have said that they went to 14 different shops to try on dresses and they hated everything. So I was kind of expecting that, but actually I found that everything I tried on I quite liked. They were all really pretty, and some were really elegant and some were really casual. And I think what I found is that it wasn't so much about finding a dress that looked nice, because they all look nice. I feel like wearing a beautiful long white dress is lovely, but it has to fit the wedding and the vibe and the venue. And when I put on my dress, I did like a little dance, and a lot of my friends have said that they did the same thing. They just started dancing and that's how they knew it was the one. And I just felt comfortable, and it was very casual and very me, and I know I don't feel like I'm dressing up in someone else's dress. I'm really happy with my dress. You guys will see it at some point, I'm sure. Why did Beauty Chat stop with Viviana makeup? Would you ever start it up again? So in case you guys don't know, me and Anna used to do monthly videos together called Beauty Chats, and they just came to an end because we've been doing it for like 2 years and we felt like we were just repeating ourselves and answering the same questions over and over again. We felt like we were annoying you guys by asking on Twitter for more questions every month, and it started to feel a little bit forced. Also, Anna moved away, so it's much harder for us to get together as often. But we never want to do something just for the sake of it, so we put that on pause to work on other more exciting things that we're planning for the future. But we do need to film more together. We always just forget because we're both so busy. So if you guys have any ideas of what you want us to film together, I love filming with Anna, so that is definitely on the cards. Did you do A-levels? If so, which ones and how did you find them? So A-levels in the UK are what you take at school from the ages of 16 to 18. It's like split between 2 years. So in the first year I did art, drama studies, or theatre studies I think it was called, music technology and psychology. I got a U in psychology, which is unclassified, so that doesn't even count as a grade. In the second year I ended up with a C in art, a D in drama and a D in music technology. And what I found with A-levels is I got to the point where I had to make a decision, and the only things I was interested in school were the arts. And actually those are really hard subjects because you can't really learn how to be good at art. You have to have a raw natural talent for it. And I was finding that although I was creating like what I thought were quite good pieces, with art A-level you have to be able to really describe what you've created as well, and that was always the bit that I really struggled with. Found the whole thing really frustrating. Music technology was so hard. That's all like the behind the scenes stuff, so like recording studios, and it was a new subject to my school. The teacher didn't really know what the curriculum entailed and we all kind of did quite badly. I really enjoyed it, but I just didn't do great at it. And drama, again, it was really fun, but clearly wasn't that great at it. Anyway, I never did well with grades, but whoop-de-doo. If you could have a dinner party with 3 YouTubers who you've never met before, who would you invite? Elle from What's Up Mums, Casey Neistat, let me look through my subscriber list. Tom Fletcher, he'd be fun. Casey Neistat, Tom Fletcher and Elle from What's Up Mums. That is the most random dinner party ever. Could be like a double date. Are you having a hen do? A hen do, for you guys who aren't from the UK, is a bachelorette party. So girls will get together and have a fun night out before they get married and can't have fun nights out anymore. God, all these wedding things are so old fashioned. But anyway, I do love a hen do. Yes, I'm having one. My friends Hannah, Debs and Gemma, along with my sisters, are planning it, and I didn't want anything too extravagant. Like sometimes I get invited on hen do's and you have to spend like £250, £300 for the weekend, and it's so ridiculous. Everyone's so busy. So I said I really don't want like a huge thing. I don't want it too expensive. I've like set a budget. I asked if I could pay too, but they won't let me. So I have no idea what's happening. They're very, very secretive. None of the guests know either, but I think it's gonna be pretty messy. I've said no strippers, please, and I don't think they care what I think. So yeah, you'll probably be seeing me on social media sometime soon looking worse for wear. Apologies in advance. I'm doing marketing, advertising and PR at Birmingham City University, and you are my inspiration. Thank you. How would you recommend to build up a profile to be so successful and get placements in digital marketing? So as soon as I left uni, I really wanted to go traveling, but I resisted the urge. Although I would recommend it if you want to. You know, you're going to be working for the rest of your life, so enjoy it while you can. But I launched myself straight into internships and I just took anything I could get. I was definitely at an advantage because I was living in London and I had my parents to stay with, but find someone to stay with if you don't, and just try and get your foot in the door anywhere. A lot of places offer a month's internship. Ask if you can stay for longer. I used to always ask if I could extend it. Just be really proactive. Meet people, go out and talk to people. Often at my parents' friends' parties, I'd end up talking to someone who worked at an advertising agency, and I would just ask, can I come and do a work experience for a couple of weeks? You just have to be so pushy for those couple of years after uni. You just have to push your way into any door, and then you'll find your way to something from there. Look on Twitter as well. I think I found one of my jobs on Twitter. I often retweet internships. Lulu Guinness just tweeted about an internship and I retweeted it. So you're definitely at an advantage now with the internet, and it's an exciting time, so just be passionate about it and get involved. I recently got a job that's 3 days working from home. What are the pros and cons of having a job where you work partly from home? Love your channel. Thank you. There are definitely pros and cons, and it's very important to think about that before you launch yourself into a job where you work from home, because it's definitely something I never wanted to do. My sister was a makeup artist when I was growing up, and I saw how hard it was for her to be freelance, so it was never on the cards for me. I've just ended up with a job where I work from home, but I knew that I wouldn't like it. So for me, the cons are very much having no colleagues and having no office. I really, really miss that office environment, and I think you take it for granted when you have it. I know how it feels because I've had previous jobs, and you're just sitting there and you hear voices and there are conversations and you get involved and you're constantly learning about things and having new conversations and new experiences and chatting. And when you're working from home, that is completely gone. You're literally just alone all day. So I feel like I'm missing out on what's going on in the world because I'm not talking to people and meeting new people. And I even feel like I've taken a step back in terms of social skills, which is so ironic because what I do is so social, but it's also really not. So I really miss engaging and interacting with real people on a daily basis. I do try and get out as much as I can and go work in the Gleam office. So if you see me in there, that is why. You also have to be a lot more strict on yourself. You have to get into a real routine. It's obviously quite tempting to just not work because no one's gonna, you know, make you do it or sit on the sofa and watch TV. So you have to be quite a strict person, which I'm quite good at because I want to upload a video. So I'll make time to do it and all of those things, you know, it has to be done. But you don't really have anyone around you encouraging you to do that work. There's definitely pros. I mean, such a simple pro, but I remember when I was working in an office, just getting a dentist appointment or going to the doctor was such a hassle. And you had to tell your boss that you needed time off to go to the doctor, and then it's like a waste of time off just for the doctor. So all of that, I mean, it's so easy. I can just pop out whenever I like to do whatever I want. And that side of it is amazing. I could probably talk about this forever in terms of working for yourself, but the question was more about working from home. So I would say those are the two obvious pros and cons. How do you feel you've changed over your YouTube career? Well, I think my YouTube career and my life pretty much go hand in hand. So how I've changed over the last 6 years has affected my YouTube career. And I think that's just a case of growing up. I definitely make content more for myself now than for views or subscribers. I think I got to the point where I realized I'm not that sort of channel that's gonna get a million subscribers and my views are gonna go crazy, and I'm so okay with that. And I've just come to the realization that I just have to be happy with the videos I'm making, and it's a much more calming feeling. I take everything a lot less personally and I just try and enjoy what I'm doing. I feel like I'm being myself a lot more. I think at the beginning I didn't really show my personality much because I didn't know that people wanted to see my personality. I thought it was more about what I was talking about, but actually I realized it's more about how I talk about it. And I think I've just figured out a way to make YouTube and blogging work within my life. There was like a year where it was my life and I wasn't seeing friends and family and I wasn't doing anything else but blogging and YouTube, and I think that's really not what it's about. Life is so important, so I found a way to do this and live at the same time. Did any of that make sense? How is it dealing with a lot of hate? Do you get used to it or is it easier to brush off? I get this question a lot, especially when we do like Beauty Chat Live. People always wonder how we deal with the hate, because I think that's the one thing that always puts people off starting a YouTube channel. And it is definitely something to consider. You know, whenever you guys always comment saying like Jojo and Hannah and Debs should start a YouTube channel, but there's a lot to consider when starting a YouTube channel, as well as all the skills you need to figure out, like filming, editing, all of that. It's a lot to take on. A lot of people don't want to put themselves on the internet because you are going to get people's opinions and you are going to get hate, unfortunately. And you have to be a very strong person to deal with it. I am not going to pretend that I'm always okay with it. Sometimes I get really angry. It's not so much, I would never like cry about a hate comment, but I get really angry because I feel like I don't have the opportunity to explain myself or talk back, because no matter what you say, you end up in this argument and you always end up looking like the bad person. So I find it quite frustrating more than anything. It's really nice to have friends like Anna to talk about when I'm in that sort of mood. Sometimes you just feel a bit misunderstood. You would have said something slightly wrong and people completely misunderstood it, and then they think you're a terrible person. And the fact that there's websites where people just bitch about you, it's really horrible and awful. I definitely would say it was one of the worst parts of this job, but not bad enough to make me quit. And I think it's the same with everyone else. There's so many more positive comments and positive people out there that it balances out. Although the one hate comment always gets you more than the hundreds of lovely comments. I think that's just human nature. Are you enjoying thinking more creatively about your videos? And do you think Everyday May has influenced how you think about your content? I can definitely see your channel evolving and I'm loving it. Thank you so much. Definitely, I think during Everyday May, the only way I can make daily videos work is by being flexible and being spontaneous. So taking my camera with me and making content out of whatever I'm doing, and that's why I like Everyday May. It's so hard to do, but I definitely always finish the month feeling like inspired to change my content, and it makes me realize that I don't have to do these big like beefy videos with everything in it. I can make smaller videos, like the Chanel video. That was about one thing, one day, and it went down really well. Or my weekend lookbook. I just took the camera out with me that weekend and made a video about what I was doing. So rather than cancelling all my plans and staying in all weekend to make videos, I try and bring the camera with me and make a video about what I'm already doing. That's kind of my plan. It's hard to make more creative videos because of the whole music on YouTube thing. It definitely limits me. But yeah, I think Everyday May is always quite an interesting experiment. It's good for me to see which videos you guys like and which ones I like filming, and then trying to find a balance. Are you and Rich going on a honeymoon after the wedding? If yes, where? The honeymoon pressure is seriously intense. So many people ask you about your honeymoon, and we would absolutely love to go on a honeymoon. We both really want to do South Africa, but God, paying for a wedding is expensive and it's a lot to plan as well. So I don't have much time to plan a honeymoon, and we're putting all the money into the wedding. So we're just gonna think about it after we get married. We're gonna assess things and then plan it from there, and probably go the year after. I don't know how people go straight on a honeymoon after their wedding. I would love to. We're probably gonna go somewhere for a few days afterwards, just so we don't have to go back to work straight away. But yeah, we've priced up South Africa, and I don't think that'll be happening just yet, but hopefully in the future. Hi Lily, I love your vlogs and videos. I'm a bit embarrassed to say that I'm mid-40s. Do you think you have many older followers, and do you mind? Sorry, this is so random, Helen Walker. This is also something that comes up all the time. When we do our Beauty Chat live events, people always say, oh, I'm your oldest subscriber. And like 40, that's not even old. You're seriously not our oldest subscriber. Helen, at 40, you are not old. First of all, my mum and a lot of her friends watch my videos, and they are much older than you. Sorry, mum. But there's just no age on subscribers. I personally love having all ages. It's really nice to have people younger than me and older than me. I don't really think, when I'm thinking about who I'm talking to, I'm not thinking of someone with a specific age. So my theory is, if you like my videos and you like watching them, then welcome. It doesn't matter how old you are. Seriously, more the merrier. I think it's so good that slightly older people are getting more into YouTube now, because I think it's such a shame that it's still not that clear how to subscribe to a YouTube channel, and people still think that subscribe means you have to pay for it. So every time I hear about, you know, people in their 40s watching videos on YouTube, I think it is great, and I'm all for it. I know how much you love food, but if you could only eat one cuisine for the rest of your life, what would it be? People love these rest of your life questions, don't they? I think it would have to be Thai. It's the first thing that came into my head. I love Italian and I love all different cuisines, but Thai is the one. I'm not sure whether you would want to share this information or not, but the question I have for your Q&A video is, will Keisha, Debs and SJ be your bridesmaids for your wedding, or will it be your sisters or someone else? So I'm not having bridesmaids. Sorry if that's controversial. I'm sure you guys know by now that I'm not really into the wedding traditions. Well, some of them I am, but I just feel like you don't have to do things just for the sake of it. And I've been a bridesmaid before for my sisters, and I know how it feels to be put in a dress that you don't want to wear. So my sisters, my best, closest friends, they know who they are. They're going to be in my room with me when I'm getting ready. They're going to be dancing with me all night. I send them all letters when I got engaged, actually, to let them know how important they are to me. And I don't think I need to give them a label or put them in a dress they hate, or give them jobs to do on the day just so they know they're important. I want my friends, out of everyone, to enjoy it the most. My sisters and my friends, I want them to have the best time, and I don't want them to be worrying about whether they've got to move a table or put my flowers somewhere. I'm really not into the whole like jobs on a wedding day thing. I want everyone to just enjoy it and let loose and not be nervous or worried about anything. So I'm not having official bridesmaids, but they all know who they are. What is your go-to easy dinner recipe? I think if I don't know what to make and I haven't got much time and I have a bit of a panic, I would get a big baking tray and I would put in chicken thighs, like 4 chicken thighs. I put in garlic, sweet potato, cherry tomatoes, a red onion, drizzle olive oil all over it, salt and pepper, throw it in the oven for 30 minutes and it's done. You can put couscous with it if you want, but I tend to just have it as like chicken and veg, and it just tastes yummy and home cooked, and it's very easy because you don't have to do anything apart from put it in the oven. I'm glad you voiced your opinion on a no traditional wedding. Was this always the plan, or did it just happen along the way during planning? Well, I knew that all the weddings I'd been to growing up, I knew like what I liked and what I didn't like from them. And I think when it came to planning my own, there was just so many traditions that I just started to question naturally. Like, why do I have to be the only one walking down the aisle? Or how come you're doing a speech and I can't do one? And these questions just kept coming up. So we said, well, you can, or he can. So we're just doing what feels right. And I feel like some of the guests who have only been to traditional weddings might be a bit like, what is going on here? But we just like to be ourselves. It's going to be really chilled. Some of the traditions just don't make any sense. It's 2016. So we're just doing what feels right. And we're both very lucky that we have very chilled out parents who just want us to do whatever we want. Final question. What a question to end on. Do you want to have kids after being married? Please. This is a notice to all my subscribers. When I get married, please don't start asking me if I'm pregnant all the time. I see this happen to all the other YouTubers. It's so unfair. We just want to get married and then enjoy being married. I don't know when I'm having kids. Yeah, we definitely want to have kids, but not yet, definitely not yet. I think getting married is big enough for me right now. So those are all the questions. I've been crossing them off as I go, so I hopefully haven't missed any. Thank you so much for all the questions. There were so many good ones. I hope I picked a nice mix for you guys. I didn't want to ignore all the wedding questions. There were so many. If you haven't seen my last video, it was a vlog, so you can click here to watch it if you would like to. And also there is a playlist with all my everyday May videos, so you can catch up on those if you think you missed any. I think I'm gonna stick to my Tuesday night, Sunday morning routine, but I might throw in an extra video every now and again, or I might mix it up. I know that you guys aren't so much worried about the schedule from the feedback I got on my last video, so I will bear that in mind and be a bit more flexible with it. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.